Atta, straight to the point. Let me ask you the first question. Liverpool Everton, who do you think is going to win?
It's a Merseyside derby. I think it's going to be a draw.
A draw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Everton haven't really been so bad this season. For the first 8 games that they've played, I know it has been like up and downs and all of it. And Sean Dykes has also been proven as a solid coach this season. I still have a problem with Liverpool's midfield, and I feel they haven't really gotten it right totally. Even if, Soboslai is trying to make it look good.
Even Ali starts well.
Yeah. So you can see some few good legs too in Everton, like Jack Morrison. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a draw. Okay, it's going to be like a 2-2 draw.
That was literally the same thing they played. I think it was last week against Brighton.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of Liverpool?
I think I'll give it to Liverpool any day.
Yeah.
I think Merseyside, the Kings of Merseyside, always come to play, unlike Manchester. So definitely.
And again, these guys are playing at home.
Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool is playing at home. So I think
they have a good run of form. Of course, there's a place for the national break getting into their own region. But at the end of the day, I think, except they just have a generally bad day.
Yeah. But what do you think of Van Dijk's performance? Since that season where he got injured, like for the full season, he hasn't really been that force that you reckon with that.
I think basically for Van Dijk, yes, he hasn't been playing the way we
standard.
The standard his normal output hasn't been achieved. But I think the team generally just covers up for him. And once your team comes to play football, I think that's all that matters. He still has his influence in the team. He still knows how to position his players, even though he's not doing well as a player. So why not?
So what would be your preferred lineup in attack? Because we've seen different variations. Now they have different players. They have your Gakpo, Jota. They have Nunes, Salah. Luis Diaz is back from injury. He was injured for most of last season. What would be your preferred attack going into this game?
From the front three, I would bet on Jota and Salah anytime, any day. That third wheel,
Are you calling Luis Diaz third wheel?
No. I don't mean third wheel. I mean, Gakpo plays from that end. Luis Diaz.
Yeah.
They put in a good show, but I always prefer Jota at the center and Salah, of course. What Salah can do year in, year out. So
you spoke about their midfield, right? And we've seen McAllister, we've seen even Gravenberg, they're playing on the wing. We've seen Gakpo also sometimes playing in the middle. Soboslai, just like you said, has kind of impressed. There's no Thiago. What would you say your preferred midfield or midfield three would be based on club formation?
Yeah, I know Gakpo is versatile, but I won't want to bring Gakpo to the midfield. So it would definitely be McAllister, Soboslai, and Gravenberg. Yeah.
Or Gakpo, they can still play Gakpo there.
So I prefer Gakpo. Gakpo still has that, that very clinical touch up front. I'm not literally saying that you're going to limit him to the midfield, but it will be so much work for him to come back and still make it to the front. But honestly speaking, Jota is a good top 9, but I think
false 9, not a top 9. He doesn't really play top 9.
Okay, you know why people would look at him as false? Because of his movements, And would you say Gakpo is also a 9?
I think Gakpo is versatile and he can play across front.
So that's what.
But just to add to it, there are also some younger players like your Elliots, your is it Curtis or Curtis Jones? I think that can also play, in the middle.
In the midfield, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I think your point is valid. You think it's going to be a draw? You think it's going to be a Liverpool win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I really can't really figure out their midfield. Yeah, I can't.
Okay. So, straight into the second match. Manchester City versus Brighton.
So, Manchester City, Brighton.
Remember, Haaland hasn't scored in like 2 or 3 games.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't. But like I always say, Man City isn't built on just one player. So, Pep has built his team around everybody. Like anybody can take the shot.
Yeah.
I even think sometimes Pep speaks to the particular person he wants to win that game. Maybe he could say, you know what, Stones, go and score the goals. You know, so that's how I feel. So Man City Brighton is going to be like a 3-0
In favor
of Man City.
do you think Man City has lost their spark? So last season, right?
Yeah.
You know, you had Cancelo the first half of the season. Cancelo was balling.
Yeah.
Right. You had your De Bruyne. You had Haaland also that picked up from. I mean, right from the start of the season.
Yeah.
This season, they let go of Cancelo.
Yeah.
He's in Barcelona right now. Ake has played in that position. Guardiola has played in that position. Obviously, they're not as, would I say, clinical as your Cancelo, right? They lost Rodri to, I'm sure it's coming back for this match after 7-8 match ban. Kevin De Bruyne is out for the rest of the season. They've played Julian Alvarez, in that number 8 position.
Yeah.
Do you think they have enough to, see out the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Tottenham, the likes of Newcastle and Manchester, or Liverpool and the rest that have, been, at the forefront of the table this season?
Okay, so to a great extent, if you look at Man City, typically people would say De Bruyne is the life wire of the team. But like I say,
he had the most assists.
He had the most assists, But like I said, it would be a very big blow this season for them not to have him, to the end of the season. But, however, there's something about Guardiola. You just see someone who will just spring up. And with the look of things, I think Foden has been trying to, to manage that gap.
Yeah.
He's been trying so hard to manage the gap. So Rodri is back. Rodri would I think, help, more or less, be a backup for Foden, so that the pressure is not so much. But we shouldn't just rule out Foden to play that position, that number 8 position. And Alvarez too has really tried. He has really tried. So I can't really say they are as clinical as last season, but they'll still pull up a very good performance this season.
So Brighton, they drew their last game, to Liverpool. They came back from 2 goals down and they drew the game 2-2. The game before that, they lost 5 goals to 1 or 6 goals to 1 to Aston Villa.
Okay.
And this season, it just seems they're not as consistent as they were, last season, right? Last season, I think they drew with Manchester City, 1-1, or they beat them, I can't remember. But they beat Arsenal 3 goals to 0. They qualified for Europe. And, everyone just looked at them and, they were like, these guys, the way they managed the football. I was looking at the stats the other day. And they were the only team in the Premier League that had, they don't play any goal kick from the keeper to the midfield. They only pass, they pass from the keeper, the ball goes to the defenders, they are passing, they're passing the ball. Do you think they can, pull up that kind of performance that they had against Manchester City last season and come out with the results?
For Brighton, that's the game that they know how to play. That's the game that they have been playing.
Yeah.
They perfected it last season, and that's pretty much what they've been playing so far. So I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, follow that template.
So do you agree with him that 3 goals to 0 in favor of Manchester City?
Maybe not 3 goals to 0, but I see Man City winning. Although, yes, you mentioned Foden, you mentioned Alvarez, but have they really stepped into the De Bruyne role?
I don't think anybody can step into the De Bruyne role, to be honest.
So
Right now
can. So, and it always tells on their game, because it's not only about the statistics, the visuals too are there. You see it and you're like, wow, this guy is in. How did you see that? How? You don't understand. So I think De Bruyne is one very, very important puzzle to the Manchester City title defense.
Unfortunately, he didn't sign for Real Madrid, but let's move on to the
But the point we have now.
Let's move on to the next game. The big one this weekend: Chelsea versus Arsenal.
I would have loved to wear my glasses. But you know what?
Yeah.
Chelsea is going to play a good game. against Arsenal.
Yeah, Chelsea fan. I think it would be nice. It would be nice.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so
to
so
hear
with the
what you really
performance,
think.
with the last two performances that they have had, that's the Chelsea team. Yeah, it's been impressive. However, it's more or less like it's a bit some sort of like an elevated growth out of like the trauma that they put most of us through. So I would say they have started showing some sort of performance signs and. But however, as Arsenal has been really, really impressive, and also the Arsenal team have tried to maintain a very strong momentum from beginning of the season. So right now, as you can see my cap, I'm trying to be political right now. But, okay, so I'll just say Chelsea is going to win that match.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would
From
you-
a fan's point of
From
view.
a fan's point of view.
Yeah.
A delusional fan.
As you should.
As you should. What would you say would be your preferred lineup? Yeah, in terms of the three people, three
Up
players.
front.
Oh yeah, three players up front.
Okay, so I would prefer, like the last game we played, we started off a Sterling, Broja, and Cole Palmer.
Is Broja not injured?
No, he's not injured.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not.
Okay.
So, but in second half, Jackson comes in as well too.
What
Because
about Mudryk?
Mudryk, see, I don't know, I don't want to talk about Mudryk now. This game is too serious for Mudryk right now. We have people that can play from that role, that wing, Right now, this is a very serious game. We want Sterling to start it off and finish it for us.
Okay.
Rather than even getting a Mudryk to come on to play. You can't even wait till when Nkunku comes back. He's an injury and let him just take that road because Mudryk is not serious.
6 wins out of 8 games. Right. We saw the last game, Arsenal versus Manchester City. They hadn't gotten the results out of Manchester City in the last maybe like 5 to 12 games. I can't remember what the stats is. But they were able to run out the results. They were able to get something out of Manchester United. 2-2 draw with Tottenham. What direction do you think this game will go?
Honestly, there's always a place for international breaks, distorting momentums. That's true, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
if we're to judge by how the season has gone so far, I think Arsenal will win because they're the better team. Off the top of my head, is Saka back? He's back now.
We don't know yet,
We
but
don't know yet.
but Ateta is
You
saying
know,
something like
if that
he
team
wants to start.
Yeah, so I think you guys have a better team.
That would be your preferred lineup. Who would you like to see up front, even if Saka comes back? Bear in mind that Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka haven't started any game together this season, but 3 of them should be available for the game tomorrow. What would be your preferred lineup?
Martinelli, Saka,
And in the middle, do you want to see Havertz?
No, let her sit down on the bench. Let's not just waste our time. Let's enjoy the game. I see maybe, let me see.
Partey is back, Rice is there, Odegaard.
Rice, Odegaard, then any other person, but Partey would be a very solid midfield player.
Okay.
Partey,
But
Rice.
I thought Partey plays from the defense sort of now.
No, so Partey
He's like the defensive.
He's like a defensive,
Then Rice
No, I
is
know he's a
central.
defensive midfielder, but
which is what Rice has been playing.
yeah, but it's a 3-man defense, right?
No.
No.
So they started experimenting with that at the beginning of the season. But
Yeah.
when we played against Manchester United, they changed it back.
They
to
changed
4-3.
it back to
And that
4-3.
was, I mean, Timber also had his injury,
yeah.
So that happens.
Because,
But they went back to the formation that they
back to
played
the formation.
last
Oh,
season.
cool.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, and Chelsea has won that game.
If Partey is playing as a DM.
Yeah, no, as a defender.
It doesn't mean Partey is a solid player now.
Oh yeah, he's a solid player, but is he a solid runner?
Okay. Metasaka was not a solid runner, but he was a solid player.
Oh well, fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. But
Because Sterling is ready to put you on the run. What I'm trying to say is, talking from the angle of, when there were 3 defenders.
Okay.
Yeah. If you there's no problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have
Gabriel and
Gabriel,
Saliba.
yeah.
Yeah, those guys are hard.
No. Those guys are no.
Premiership right now.
Yeah, Saliba has really proven
What's
some
it?
very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
Oh, Saliba, I think he has really He has turned up for so many occasions, you know. He's brewing some sort of like legendary kind of status in Arsenal already. You know, he's trying to really, really make his mark, and that's what we used to believe in, and that's what we used to see when the real Chelsea used to be there. You understand? But these days, is it Disasi and who? You know. But I think one day we'll get that kind of player too as well. That very, very religious, you know, strong. John Terry, God bless you.
All right, let's call it a wrap. Thank you.